You are listening to the BowhunterPlanet podcast, Season 6. The podcast is supported by Scent Crusher, Scent Off, Game On, Tinks, Cat Work Truck, Victory Archery, Thorn Broadheads, Shadow Hunter Blinds, Cobra Archery, Burris, HHA Sports and HHA USA, Reveal Cellular Cameras, and Deer Camp Coffee. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the BowhunterPlanet podcast. Myself, Tim Mazarana, tonight, along with Jamie Milboom. And we have special guest on tonight, Rick from Whitetail.com. Rick, it's nice to meet up with you again. I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on over at Whitetail.com. But how's it going tonight, man?
Everything's going great. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good, Rick. So tell us a little bit about Whitetail.com. What is it? Where can we? Obviously, it's Whitetail.com, so we know where to find it. But tell us a little bit about Whitetail.com.
Sure. Our first goal was to make sure we had the easiest address in the world that nobody could forget.
I was going to ask you how long ago you found that.
Well,
it had to be a long time ago.
It was honestly, it was a long, tedious negotiation. And I actually had to drive to Wisconsin to get face to face with the guy that had it. He'd had it for 20 years. See? And it had been a forum site.
Yep.
It had been hacked by Russian porn stuff, and so he just stopped posting anything on the forum, and he just started letting people send him stories, and he would post the stories, and he hadn't posted anything in about 10 years, and so we contacted him at the right time, and he wasn't sure he wanted to let it go, and we worked it all out. But it's a great domain name to have.
It is. What a great name for sure. Easy to remember, easy to find. And I guess I'm going to take it you're not selling it.
Yeah, if you forget it, it's your own fault.
I love it. So tell us a little bit when we go there. What are we gonna see, Rick?
Well, I mean, most people today are familiar with Facebook and Instagram, and the reason we started this site was it was actually kind of a fluke. I've been a deer hunter my entire life. My family have been, just ate up with it, we kind of live and breathe whitetail hunting. And I had developed this social media site with a guy out of Georgia, and we put it together, and we were using it for other ventures. And a guy from Iowa called me one day, and we were talking about upgrading his forum site. And he said, I wish there was something better out there. And we hadn't even thought about using what we had built over a 7-year period for whitetail deer, and so that's kind of how Whitetail was born. And if you go there, it's going to kind of remind you of Facebook or Instagram without all of the ads and all of the trash that's there. But you don't have to be fearful of what you post. You don't have to be fearful of what you say. It's a family-friendly site, but there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, and there's a lot of stuff that's been taken down over the last few years. I mean, just this last fall, there were some of these big groups on YouTube that had their channels, closed for a week or so before they let them back in. And you can have a group. I think there was a group out of Indiana that had over 100,000 followers on Facebook in their group. And arbitrarily, Facebook just shut them down, and they were gone. And when you've got a group like that, like you guys have got some big groups, right, unless you know who your members are, you don't know who your members are, your followers, and that's just gone. And so we built this so that people had a safe place to go. They didn't have to be nervous about posting the pictures of the deer of a lifetime, or even their first buck. And or even their first doe, it doesn't matter. But we want them to not be fearful. I think I told you earlier, Tim, that if somebody is going to get kicked off of the site, it's because somebody's going to attack the picture you posted. If we get an anti on there, and the antis are saying, "I can't believe you shot Bambi," we're going to say bye-bye to you, because we don't want you on our site.
Yeah, I love that. And the whole social media thing, I mean, that's kind of where we've lived and breathed the last 13 years that we've been around. The YouTubes, the Facebooks, the TikToks, the Instagrams, we've been on it, we're on it, and we've seen it all. And there's been huge changes, with those platforms, and not to the right side of us. There's a lot of, people call it algorithm changes and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, to me, it's more of a political change in regards to what these larger companies, like your Facebooks and all that kind of stuff, allow you to post. So having something like this is, just kind of a godsend, if you will, for hunters to have that place to go where they don't have to worry about it. I think we're a little bit used to the keyboard warriors around here, right, Jamie?
Oh yeah.
We've seen a lot of comments, a lot of posts trying to be flagged and all that kind of stuff. We've got booted ourselves for a little bit here and there for different things that we've posted. So, having this type of platform out there, Rick, is such a great thing for the industry, for sure.
Well, we're sure excited about it, and the people that are there have really gravitated to it. At one point, Tim, right after we launched last fall, we actually put up an area where people could send us pictures, because there's some people that just don't want to post things, so they could send us pictures. I bet you I have 6 months worth of content that has been sent to me that people didn't want to post themselves, and which is really cool, because I just have to find the hours in the day to be able to post it all. I mean, if I started nonstop now, we would just post and post and post and post and post. But of course, we want the people up there doing it and enjoying it and telling their stories, and we just want to get more people involved and let more people have fun in a safe environment.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and much welcome for the industry. And you're not weapon specific, right? I mean, obviously we're talking on the BowhunterPlanet website, a podcast right now. But you guys don't care. It's about bows, it's about guns, it's just about hunting in general, correct?
That's exactly right. There's a fine line out there. If you can push too far to the bow hunting side, you can push to the crossbow side, you can push to the firearm side or the muzzleloader. We don't care. As long as you enjoy the sport, we're here for you.
I love it.
No, and that's how we all should be. We have this conversation multiple times, and I know, we had Michael Waddell on a couple of times, and this is his biggest thing. It don't matter what you're hunting, who you're hunting with, or what you're doing. We just got to build a community and stop fighting about all the kinds of things like that. It's just insane.
We're all hunters,
right? That's right. That's right. And as long as we're doing it legally, that to me is all that matters. I don't care whether it's a doe, a buck, a spike. If it's your first deer, your last deer, your biggest deer, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're ethically hunting, right? So I think that to me is the biggest thing. We talk internally all the time here at BowhunterPlanet about how do we get more hunters involved, and it's platforms like this that allow people to go out and find what they're looking for, whether it be the newbie or the veteran. You need them all, because we're all a community and we can all help each other and we can all share stories and success stories and all that kind of stuff. So,
I had a father that messaged me privately one day, and he thanked me for what we were doing because his kid had posted a picture on either Facebook or Instagram and just got ripped because he'd shot a small buck as his first deer. And it's like, come on, guys, this is a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
It's he doesn't know that it gets any better than this. And it doesn't. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I can still remember the first deer I ever harvested. And I always will. I can walk into my trophy room and I can tell you a story about every single deer, and where I shot it at and when and what the situation was and who was with me. And, so don't tear down somebody or their dreams. I mean, we get the adults involved, and of all the things I've been involved with in my life, I've never seen the jealousy that you see in the whitetail hunting world.
Yeah.
Not even that way with duck hunting or any of those. It just happens to be the deer hunting world. Nobody wants to be happy for the next guy. We just want everybody to be happy.
which is horrible, right? I mean, and that especially comes out on youth season, right? Like I get it. A 2-year-old's not going to shoot a 12 point at 300 yards, but there's some younger kids, and thank God we have things like crossbows and stuff that are easy for kids to shoot. And a lot of them are safe. My son was 8 when he got his first year. I just felt comfortable with that crossbow. I never had that option as a kid. It's just nice to see. And we just need to stop all the fighting and all the jealousy and waiting for 200-inch deer when you live in places like Michigan. It's just not gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not like in Kansas where they got those big old deer.
There's also these people out there now that, and you can take it for whatever it's worth. There's people out there that hate the fact that they have these youth seasons. Right. Before I had kids, I kind of didn't like youth seasons either. It's like, hey, they get a chance to hunt before we do. But, they're not, you would think that these kids were hunting the exact piece of property that we're hunting.
Right.
Right.
They're shooting my deer, right?
Yeah. I mean, you get a guy in Northeast Iowa that's complaining about a guy in Southwest Iowa's kid that shot a deer because it's not fair. And it's like, well, you don't even know where that property's at, and you were never going to hunt there. So what difference does it make?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people misunderstand conservation and the need to bring new hunters in. I mean, the what we've seen for years. Yeah. I mean, when we started in 2009, we start looking at statistics of numbers of hunters and all that kind of stuff. It kept going down and down and down, right? So we need a way to get that next generation into the conservation element of hunting, because it's going to be better for all of us. So. Every state's got different rules and regulations on when you can hunt and what weapon you can hunt and all that kind of stuff. But, having those different seasons and being able to get the youth out to a dedicated hunt, I think makes a lot of sense. It does in my mind. And to be quite honest with you, if it wasn't for the youth hunt that we have, a specific youth hunt that we have, it would be hard to get kids outside of that. Yeah. Right. I mean, right. With what we do, we need to get out there. We need to capture content, and we love getting our kids out and all that stuff. But it's not easy to coordinate school and hunting and all of that different stuff without a dedicated weekend that you can plan for. And I think it makes a lot of sense. So
yeah, we used to just compete.
Go ahead.
We used to just compete with. We had school events. Trying to party on weekends and chase girls and do all of those things. And now we got to compete with kids with a telephone in their hand 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why it's nice
documenting everything that they're doing that I just mentioned before.
Yeah.
At least they got something to do, and they're in the blind nowadays, because I didn't have anything except getting yelled at for sniffling or moving. But it's nice having a dedicated season for them, because it's all about them. They're staying up late, they're eating all this candy, they're having fun, and they're shooting deer. And I don't have to worry about, if a big one walks by that I'm jealous I can't shoot it, because I can't shoot it. Right. Just right. let them at it. And then it's all about them. And they're excited for it every year. We each got 2 boys, and they're always fighting who's going next. And
yeah, no, it's the same thing here. And I think what's nice too is that, at least in Michigan, and it might not be like this in every state, but it's the weapon is open. You can do firearm or crossbow during that youth hunt. So you can really key in on what your kids or the kids that you're taking out, what their passion is, to keep them going and keep them excited. So I really like it. And Rick, yeah, I mean, thank you. I mean, it is stuff like this that allows people to post that type of stuff where it's a community feel, rather than, if I post it, am I going to get, rocked by PETA in my comment section, right? Yeah. So it is platforms like this that help bring the industry forward and get new hunters involved and all that kind of stuff. So you got some exciting things going on, though. Tell us about this giveaway that's going on whitetail.com.
Yeah, what we wanted to do, so we kicked it off last year, and so this being, we're in our first year here, and we wanted to do something really cool. And my wife and I own property in Kansas, and it's all managed for trophy deer, and then I've got other ground that we lease, and so we're going to give away a trophy whitetail hunt in Kansas for bow. And the reason bow is because the gun season is really short in Kansas, and trying to time all of that. And so our properties that we own, we haven't had anybody bow hunt them, in over 10 years. The main property is almost 2,000 acres, and we didn't shoot a deer. We didn't shoot a deer off of it last year. And so, and the reason we didn't shoot a deer off of it is I actually have trouble at times finding somebody that can come in and can hunt a particular deer that we want out. And we hunted a couple times in there last year trying to shoot a couple bucks out that we wanted to go because they were bullies and they wanted to fight and break everybody else up. And we just couldn't do it. So, that piece of property is about 2,000 acres, and there hasn't been a deer shot off of it in several years. And so it's got some big whitetails. I mean, we've killed bucks at net, Boone and Crockett, off of this particular property. And we've got other ground, like I say, that we lease that we're going to share, trail camera photos with the hunters so they can see what's there. We're not going to hide anything from them. And I'm going to let them come in and try and shoot the same thing I want to shoot in December.
I love it.
And what we're going to do is we're going to give them an opportunity to, get on the phone with us and tell us when they want to come between the time season opens in September all the way through the rut. We're not going to limit them to, okay, you can come these days. I mean, it's a 5-day hunt, but we're going to let them, pick when they want to be there. And I'd love to hunt the rut personally.
Absolutely.
I think I'll be signing up.
I know. I thought I saw you pull your phone out there to start registering, Jamie, to get entered into that for sure. So is there lodging on the property, Rick?
What's that?
Is there lodging on the property? Like,
no, there's not, but we have lodging because I actually even stay. I've got a place that we put everybody up.
Okay.
And we're going to, this is what's great about it is this hunt is going to include all of your licenses, your lodging, and your meals while you're there. You just have to get to Kansas for the hunt.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can't beat that at all.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about some of the deer that you've seen on that property. How big are we talking?
Well, I mean, just to give you an idea, the one that you see behind me, his nickname's Elvis. He's the 10th largest typical that was ever killed in Kansas.
That's a tall one.
He grosses 202, and that's just over 188.
I love it.
We've killed another a booner that netted 172 off of the property. We've killed a lot of deer in the 170s, 180s. But I'm going to tell you what, even I mean, I've seen deer on there that I know there's 2 8 points this year that if they made it, I know they did, but if they put on, they're going to be 5.5 this year. If they do it, I think they're going to be 150 plus inch 8 points. And, that's a tank of an 8. And, I don't care what anybody says, that's a big 8 point, regardless of where you are. And there are bigger, but we've got a buck on the property, on one of the properties that we have that I wouldn't let anybody shoot last year. I had some guys come in that were gun hunting with me, and I put him on the do not shoot list. And I typically don't do that, but this deer I knew was no more than 3.5. He's a mainframe 12, and he's got split 2s on each side.
Wow.
I mean, I think he was in the, he was probably in the upper 70s last year. There was another 4. We typically want a deer to get to 5.5 before we harvest it. And I let a guy shoot a 4.5-year-old at the same spot where the 12 point was at. And that 4.5-year-old was 175 inch deer. It was a 10 with kickers off both 2s. I know he would have been a tank this year too, but it was kind of the trade-off. Do I let the guy shoot this deer, or do I let him shoot the 3.5-year-old that's going to make me cry?
Right.
So we've got really good deer. I'm not saying they're behind every tree, but if a guy will come out and or guy or gal will come out and put the effort in, we typically, because we've only gun hunted any of these properties, we typically do stuff with ground blinds, but if somebody wants to bring out tree stands, we can even work with some of our tree stand sponsors to get stands in. They can come out early, they can scout, they can, set up tree stands the way they want. They can even come out this summer and do that for whoever the winner is going to be. That their shooting lanes are cut the way they want. It's going to be a fun hunt for somebody.
That's awesome. So what, how does somebody actually sign up? How do they get into this giveaway?
Well, you can check on social media. I sent it over to Dave, and I'm sure he's going to post it on Instagram and Facebook. But it's real simple. It's if you just go to rewards.whitetail.com/BHP for BowhunterPlanet. If you can't remember that, if you just go to whitetail.com and click on Kansas Hunt, you're there. So that's a simpler way. We just kind of like to track, how people heard about us. And by using that rewards email, rewards.whitetail.com/BHP for BowhunterPlanet, then we know exactly where they saw, what we're doing, and they came to it. But you click on Kansas Hunt, it's going to take you right into the sign up. You fill out all the information and hit submit, and you're actually in the social media site at that point as well. And you can start posting or browsing and doing any of that kind of stuff. So we try to make it as simple as we can. And this is going to run through April 15th is when the cutoff, because that'll give us about 14 days to get with the winner, get their information gathered so that we can get their licenses applied for. Now, the only caveat is Kansas, there's 22,000 tags issued a year. And last year there were 30,000 people applied. And so, most of the time, that's good odds in your favor, you're going to get drawn. If you don't get drawn this year, then you're automatically going to get a preference point, and we'll just let you come next year. So it's just going to be a really good deal. And chances are the draw is actually pretty easy there. And with the economy the way it is this year and all of that, and the gas to get places and all of those things, there's probably not going to be as many people applying. And so I think it's a better year for somebody to come in.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to do it. So we're running it now until April 15th, and whitetail.com for rewards.whitetail.com/BHP, you said?
That's right.
Very
That's right.
good.
And like I say, I think you guys are going to be posting it over the next 30 days on your social media, and there'll be either a link in the bio or right from the, in Facebook, it'll be right from it where you can click it. And
we absolutely will be doing that. So on our Facebook page, BowhunterPlanet Facebook page, and it'll probably be on a couple of our different social media pages as well, just to get some exposure out there and get as many people on. I mean, these types of platforms is what this industry needs, like we already talked about, for sure.
Right.
So I appreciate that. And this type of stuff is awesome, Rick. It's good to hear that platform, and I was on the platform. Let me just say this real quick. I was on the platform earlier today and I signed up. We have a BowhunterPlanet account out there. I just loaded in a team BowhunterPlanet, which is kind of our pro team membership program for BowhunterPlanet.com. And the simplicity of signing up, the simplicity of entering that the giveaway, and the simplicity of the site itself is extremely user friendly, like you said. So it's super easy to navigate through, find content, like the content, all of that kind of stuff. So very good job on the design, and layout of everything. I think it works very, very well. What is your background in that, or what is your background in, Rick?
Well, my background's always been in marketing.
Okay.
And I've traveled all over the world. I mean, I'm from a town of, I always joke around, I'm from a town of 9. And and when you come out there, or whoever comes out there to hunt with us, they're gonna see where I grew up. It's just a little town. The county seat in the county is only 900 people. The whole county only has about 6,500 people. So I grew up out there in the country, and I found out when I was pretty young, I had to work hard on the farm every day. And at one point in my life, I found out, I can get paid to talk for a living. And so I started talking for a living, and it's taken me all over the world, doing events and talking to people and speaking. And I've always been good at that. But, Kansas is home. I gave up when I was 18 years old. Our family, we had a hunting preserve, and I got shot while guiding a chucker partridge hunt. And so I kind of gave up the bird hunting side of things.
Yeah.
I still shoot some sporting clays and that type of thing, and take my son turkey hunting every year. But, I just have always had the outdoors in my blood. And, when it comes to December, this year, November 30th, I'll be in Kansas, for 12 solid days during the gun season. But this year I'm going to get to go up there earlier, and I'm going to get to spend time with some lucky winner and get to show them what we've worked so hard putting together, for a property. And,
Right.
it's a beautiful country where we're at. It's big hills. Everybody thinks Kansas is flat, but it's big hills. And, right now it's brown as can be. And in another 60 days, it's going to be lush and green like an emerald out there, and cattle covering the hilltops, and big whitetail roaming the bottoms. So it's a great place. And so that's my background is hunting and marketing.
It fits right in,
Cool.
I think, for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know anybody out there that wouldn't want a giveaway hunt in Kansas. I know, us Michiganders, we're always jealous of you people out in Kansas with those big deers that we see posted every year, and we're sitting here with our huge 120s.
It's funny you say that, though. I've got some guys that have come down, a guy that come down for years from Wisconsin and hunted with me, and we helped him lease a farm, and he brings in some of his buddies, and they killed $5 last year, and there wasn't a buck in there that scored 120, and those guys were just absolutely thrilled.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a dream of all of ours to see that type of stuff every year, for sure.
I'll send you guys over. I'll send you guys over to the main address. I'll send you over a picture of my trophy room up there, so you can see the quality of deer that we've harvested. But
that'd be great.
We are blessed that we are in a very, very good area. And it's got people leasing, it's got some outfitters and so forth, but we've got plenty of private land, and we're really fortunate that we manage just like we do.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, it's good to hear, Rick. It has been great to have you on. Is there anything else that we want to talk about at all? We talked about the giveaway, talked about whitetail.com. Anything else going on that we should know about?
I guess Dave says he's planning on coming hunting himself. He just can't decide what year he wants to do it. So
Yeah,
maybe one of you guys will just have to. Maybe one of you guys will have to make sure he's got a broken bone so he can't go. And
Yeah. Well, I'll take his spot. No problem.
Yeah. We'll just put a call into his wife and put the kibosh on that one.
Pretty easy.
That won't be too hard to do.
What are friends for, right?
Right.
That's right. Hey, somebody's got to get the content,
Absolutely.
I love it, Rick. Well, it's been great having you on. Again, for everybody listening right now, it's whitetail.com. If you're looking to enter the giveaway, rewards.whitetail.com/BHP. And Rick, we can't wait to see who the winner is. I'm assuming you're going to post that on whitetail.com, right? When the winner happens?
We will post it on whitetail.com. 17th. What happens is it finishes on the 15th. Excuse me, the 18th. The 15th is when it ends. The 16th and 17th, we'll go make sure that there's no hanky panky going on with entries and so forth. And then on the 18th, we'll draw. The one last thing I will share with you is that on the site, later this week, we're going to bring it live where you can actually go in every day, and every time you post or every time you comment on somebody's post or you share with somebody else, you're going to earn additional what we call tokens. And then we have this cool little spinner wheel. You'll click the spinner wheel and it tells you how many tickets you get when you spin that. And that's that many more chances you get in the drawing.
Oh, that's great. When is that coming on board?
We're going to have that on. We're going to have that out by Friday of this week. So those of you that, even if you join today, don't worry about it. You come in on Friday and you're going to be able to, if you post something, you immediately get a point. If you share or if you comment on somebody's post that they do, you're going to earn a point. And then you go to the spinning wheel, and for every point you have or every token you have, you spin the wheel, and that wheel has numbers 1 through 9. And You might win one extra ticket, or you might win 9 for that spin. And those are just going to be extra chances. So the idea is we get people in doing activity, posting, coming in every day, and getting more chances to win that great Kansas hunt.
That makes sense. The more active you are, the more tickets you got. So head
I'm
over to
gonna try-
whitetail.com and check them out. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this giveaway, Rick. And I can't wait to talk to you again in the near future. Thanks for
Thank you,
joining
gentlemen.
us tonight.